Anyhow, you may be able to see the cars passing. I cut the video camera off, I didn't mean to. You may be able to see the cars passing. That's where they deemed the main source of pollution for Manio Bay occurring. So they decided to build a rainwater holding pond for all runoff coming from the main highway to catch all the pollution. They first stated they were going to build a salt marsh, a tiny salt marsh, to filter all the pollutants coming into Manio Bay. As you look around all these buildings and all the destroyed habitat, all the salt marsh, and one little tiny piece of salt marsh is going to filter all the pollutants. That is just hilarious. We'll run up a little further here. Once again, a multi-billion-dollar development where salt marsh used to stand. You can still see the remainder of the salt marsh. What is 15 feet wide between the houses and the water is all that remains. It's all used to be salt marsh, where our crabs, our fish, our shrimp, and all other fish and shellfish used as habitat to reproduce, to grow, and to populate. Gone. People on a charter boat, I guarantee you they don't give a shit about it. We'll run up a little bit further here. You know, this big marina. That's just nice. That's just great. Run up a little bit further. Salt marsh. Hundreds and hundreds of yards of salt marsh. This is how everything looked prior to population and building Manio Bay. Back in the distance, you can see more million-dollar homes, which was another spillway for dredging. They dredged the channel, pumped it onto that piece of land, and once the salt marsh was covered, it's no longer salt marsh. It was just sand and mud. So it's prime time to build. We'll run a little further. Salt marsh, plenty of salt marsh. But this last one takes the cake. can see this at a distance. I can't get but so close. All the million-dollar homes in place of where our salt marshes used to be. This used to be one giant salt marsh, a fragile ecosystem for all our fish, all our crabs. Is now turned into a tourist attraction or a homestead for those with multi-million-dollar bank accounts. From the main highway in Manio all the way to the tip of Ballast Point, nothing but million-dollar mansions. Money says it all. It's easy to point the finger at a select group of people for the atrocities occurring on the water with our fish populations, our crab populations, yet those with money are not to blame. One more atrocity if we have time. I'd like for everyone to look close at this sign. Submerged, danger, piping. This is where all feces for the entire town of Manio gets pumped right into the middle of our bay, where there is no tide to dilute the pollution. Right here, under the boat. Submerged, danger, piping. They say the water is fresh and is chlorinated, is treated, chlorinated. Chlorine is a pollutant. Fresh water, 1 million gallons per day, being dumped into a fragile ecosystem consisting of salt water is an atrocity. It's a grim reminder of what our sea life is facing. Yet all fingers point toward commercial fishing. We're being fed deception